If you're watching this, you are in a reality that most people will never understand. A reality where someone has decided you are their obsession, where your life is being invaded, tracked, controlled, piece by piece, and even worse, a reality where no one else can see it, where the people around you say, just ignore it, where law enforcement says, we can't do anything unless they actually hurt you, where the world keeps moving, but you are trapped, living in fear, constantly watching, waiting for the next escalation. And at some point you realize something terrifying. To stop them, you have to start watching them just as closely. To prove what's happening, you have to track their every move. To build your case, you have to think like them. And suddenly, you feel like you are the one obsessed. You feel like you are the crazy one. You feel like you have become part of their world. But let me tell you something. You're not crazy. You're not obsessed. You're doing what the system requires you to do. You are doing what you must to protect yourself, to reclaim your life, to make this stop. But there's a fine line between tracking your stalker for evidence and letting them take over your mind. And that is what we are going to talk about. How to gather every piece of evidence you need without losing yourself. How to build your case relentlessly without letting the rage consume you. How to fight back without becoming trapped in their world. Because staying sane while being stalked is the hardest part of all, and you are going to get through this. If you're being stalked, you already know this isn't just about safety. It's about surviving the mental war. Because stalking isn't just about watching. It isn't just about following. It's about breaking you. Your stalker wants to take over your mind. They want you trapped in fear. They want you so obsessed with them that they still control you, even when they aren't there. And worst of all, the justice system will demand that you prove your case. You will have to track them, document them, watch them, just to make them stop. Which means that, at some point, you will feel just as obsessed with them as they are with you. And this is where victims start to feel crazy. But let me tell you something. You are not crazy. You are at war. And if you don't learn how to fight this war without losing yourself, they win. So let's talk about it. How do you collect the evidence you need without falling into the same madness as your stalker? How do you build your case without losing your sanity? How do you stop this nightmare without letting it take over your life? This is how you stay sane while being stalked. You have to track your stalker. But not like they track you. If you want them to stop, you need proof. Not just a little proof, enough to bury them. Because the truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to put this puzzle together for you. No one is going to connect the dots unless you make them see it. And that means you have to watch them. You have to document them. You have to collect enough evidence to make sure they can't escape the consequences. And let's be honest, that's going to feel a whole lot like stalking your stalker. It's going to feel wrong. It's going to feel obsessive. It's going to feel like they've dragged you into their world, because in a way, they have. And this is where you have to check yourself. You are not doing this for revenge. You are not doing this because you are consumed by them. You are doing this because you have to. Because the law requires you to be as obsessive as they are, just to prove what's happening. But here's the difference. Your stalker is obsessed with controlling you. You are obsessed with stopping them. And that distinction, that will save your sanity. Detach. Check yourself. Every damn day. There will be days when this is all you think about. There will be nights where you don't sleep because you're reviewing evidence. There will be moments where you feel like you have become just as consumed as they are. This is normal. And this is dangerous. Because if you let yourself live in that state too long, you will become the person that everyone stops believing. You will look too frantic. You will sound too unstable. You will be dismissed as just another crazy person with a conspiracy board and a pile of evidence no one has time to understand. And that is exactly what your stalker wants. So you have to detach, even as you track them, even as you gather proof, even as you build your case. You have to step back and ask yourself, am I thinking clearly? Am I collecting this evidence in a way that others can understand? Am I still in control of my own mind? And if the answer is no, then you take a break. You step back. You remind yourself that your life exists outside of them. You are not doing this because you are obsessed. You are doing this because you are building your case. And there is a difference. Now, let's talk about something most people won't tell you. You do not have to forgive your stalker. This is not about healing. This is about winning. And hate will not help you win. Hate makes you reckless. Hate makes you exhausted. Hate keeps you tied to them, even after they're gone. Your stalker wants you to hate them. Because when you hate them, you can't think straight. When you hate them, you are easier to manipulate. When you hate them, you are still emotionally attached to them. So no, you don't have to forgive. But you do have to find a way to let go of the rage. And sometimes, that means playing mind games with yourself. If you have to, make up a story. Convince yourself that they are pitiful. Tell yourself, oh, poor thing, they were probably dropped on their head as a baby. Oh, poor thing, they must have never been loved as a child. Oh, poor thing, they are so small and weak. They have to harass people just to feel like they exist. It does not matter if it's true. What matters is that it gets you out of the cycle of hate. Because your best revenge is proving your case, is shutting them down, is walking away from this nightmare without them leaving a permanent scar on your soul. Yes, you have to track them. Yes, you have to prove your case. Yes, you have to be relentless. But you also have to stay human. Because if you let this become your whole world, they win. If you let this consume you, they win. And you? You are not here to lose. You are here to survive. You are here to outsmart. You are here to win. And when the war is over, you will not just be standing. You will be stronger than you ever imagined. If this video helped you, subscribe now and check out our Stalking Survival Handbook, because you deserve more than survival. You deserve justice.